Now let us discuss question number 4A. Input service distributor ISD of a company is registered separately in the state of Kerala, is distributing ITC. So they have registered as ISD where in Kerala, and they are distributing ITC to other units in the company. Following details are furnished for a particular month, and you are required to help the ISD department in distributing ITC to other units that are carrying on manufacturing, supplying goods and services to the customers. Now here the turnover has been provided for Mumbai unit, Bangalore unit, Hyderabad unit and Trivandrum unit. And they have also provided about the total ITC available during the month is 48 lakhs. Includes CGST and ST and IGST on account of supplies received during the month. So from the above, this 48 lakhs is available for distribution, 12 lakhs is available as IGST to Bangalore unit. So in case if ITC relates to a specific unit, the distribution will be to that unit. Then ITC exclusive to Trivandrum unit and Hyderabad unit. That is 6 lakh, which includes CGST and SGST of 3 lakh each. So here the distribution to Trivandrum unit will be CGST and SGST, and to say Hyderabad unit, it will be as IGST. Rest credit out of this 48 minus 18, that is what 30, that is allocable to as common credit to all the units and is received from local suppliers. So CGST and SGST has been charged, and this is to be distributed to all the units. Then basic value of debit note received is 50 received during the month in respect of previous supply with rate of tax at rate of 12% IGST. So that is being received separate and charged and shown separately. So here also the credit will be distributed in proportion only. And total value in credit note received during the month applicable exclusively to Kerala unit. Now this is applicable exclusively to Kerala unit, taxed at rate of GST 9% and CGST 9% and SGST 9%, which is charged and indicated separately. Also make your comments relating to the amount of ITC in credit note if exceeds the ITC from invoices and debit notes in a particular month for all or any of the units. So we have to compute now the amount of the eligible distributed ITC. So here computation of distribution of ITC. To various units. We have 4 units. What is one is Mumbai, Maharashtra. One is Karnataka, Bangalore. This is Karnataka. Okay. One is Hyderabad. It is Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. And one is Trivandrum, Kerala. Okay. This is particulars. Turnover is what? Total turnover is 12, 60, 36 and 72. 12, 60, 36 and 72. 36 and 72. So 12 plus 60 plus 36 plus 72, that is 180. Now first of all ITC exclusively available to Bangalore unit. ITC to Bangalore unit. That is how much ITC involved is? It is 12. So this will be distributed exclusively to Bangalore unit as IGST. Okay. Then ITC available during the month with ISD include this much. ITC exclusive to Trivandrum and Hyderabad units. Trivandrum, Kerala, and this is in Kerala. And this is in, AP. So ITC exclusive available to Trivandrum unit, that is 1.5. It is 6 lakhs, means 3 lakhs each. 6 lakh is the total, which includes CGST and SGST of 3 lakh each. Now Trivandrum and Hyderabad unit. So here it is. Now same will be Trivandrum and Hyderabad unit. Same will be apportioned in ratio of turnover. Trivandrum is 72, Hyderabad is 36. So it is 1:2. So 1 is what? 2 lakhs. This will be IGST. And here it will be 4 lakhs, which is 4 lakhs. This will be 2 lakhs CGST because it is in same state, and 2 lakh SGST. This way the distribution will be there, because this is attributable to these two units, will be distributed in the ratio of the turnover of two units, turnover of Hyderabad, and this is 1:2 is the ratio. 2 lakh and 4 lakhs. Okay. So 6 we have distributed. Next is what? Next is balance ITC. Balance ITC is 48 minus 18. That is 30. Same is to be distributed in the ratio of turnover. So 30 divided by 180 is the total turnover into 12. That is 2 lakhs. It will be distributed as IGST. Then 30 divided by 180 into 60, that is 10 lakhs. That will be also IGST. Then here 36. Next one is 30 divided by into 36. This is the turnover now of that particular unit. That will be here also. It will be 6 lakhs. So this is also IGST, because in the other state it will be distributed as IGST, and the remaining will be how much? That is 30. That will be 12 lakhs. CGST 6 lakhs and SGST 6 lakhs. So the distribution is 2 plus, we are verifying it, 10 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, 30. So this way the distribution has taken place. Now we have received a debit note. Basic value of debit note received during the month in respect of previous supply with rate of tax 12% IGST being charged and shown separately. So debit note received during the month. GST element involved is basic value is 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs. rate of tax works out to be 12% IGST. That means what? 6 lakhs. This is 6 lakhs. It will also be distributed on basis of turnover. This will be distributed on basis of turnover. So here, so in the same ratio, so 6 divided by 180 into 12, that works out to be 40,000. That is the IGST element here. Then 60 divided by 180 into 6. That is, 2 lakhs, 20,000. It is 2 lakhs. It is 2 lakhs. It is also IGST. Then 36 divided by 180 into 6. It is 6 lakhs. So it will be 1,20,000. That will be IGST. And here also IGST will be there. How much? It is just 240. This credit will be distributed on the basis of whatever debit note has been received. So 40,000, 2 lakh, 1,20,000 and 2,40,000. So 280, 380, 5, 6 lakhs. We have distributed the same. Then credit note received. Now they say that total value of credit note received during the month applicable exclusively to Kerala unit, tax rate of 9% and 9%, which is charged and indicated separately in the invoice. So here the value is how much? 118 inclusive of GST. So the GST element of credit note will be 18 lakhs. So here it will be 9 lakh will be the CGST element which is to be paid, and 9 lakh is to be the SGST element which is to be paid. Now take total credit available here is of CGST and SGST, that is 8 lakhs. 8 lakhs is the CGST element. 8 lakh is the SGST element that is available. So here 1 lakh. 1 lakh CGST, 1 lakh SGST. The same is to be paid by this unit because extra credit has been distributed to it. So fundamentally this was relating to what? Distribution of ITC, which we have discussed here. First of all, you see here what is the, in this case, the turnover details are there, 12 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 36 lakhs and 72 lakhs. On this ratio, we have to divide the credit. 48 lakhs is the available credit, which includes CGST, SGST and IGST, out of which 12 lakhs is exclusively for the, Bangalore unit. So here, for Bangalore unit, first one, 12 lakhs exclusive for Bangalore. Then 6 lakh is for both the two units, Trivandrum and Hyderabad. We have to divide in the ratio of turnover. Turnover of Hyderabad and Trivandrum is say 1:2. We have divided the same. In this ratio 2 lakh for Hyderabad unit, the same will be distributed as IGST because another state, and for this particular unit, that is Trivandrum unit, it will be distributed to the CGST and SGST. Then we have what? The remaining credit. Remaining credit is 30. The same will be distributed in the ratio of the turnover. Ratio of turnover is what? 1:5:3:6. The 1:5:3:6. That is the ratio of turnover. Then next is about what? The debit note received. Here 50 lakh is the book value of debit note, so 6 lakh will be the credit. So it will also be distributed in the ratio of turnover. That is 1:5:6:6. 1:5 is to what? 3:6. And last one is the, credit note has been received, which is particularly exclusively to Kerala unit. So that will be recovered from Kerala unit. So this way, the total distribution has taken place. You can sum up the same and then reply it accordingly. The next question is, a central government department is located at Uttar Pradesh, registered with the Commercial Tax Department, UP state, for deducting GST. So it's located where in UP? It is a government department, central government department. Okay, for the purpose of TDS it has been registered. Now it enters into a contract with a public sector undertaking, PSU. It is registered in the state of Delhi. And here it's supplying goods valued 3,50,000 has been supplied. Okay, the PSU argues that no tax is deductible on this supply by the central government department as it is located outside the state of UP, therefore not liable to tax under CGST and SGST as it is a local levy. And IGST tax deduction is not applicable if it is located in another state other than the state in which the department is registered. You are required to comment on this. So the contention is not correct basically. Here, even if, the supplier is located in another state, the central government department can deduct tax at source if the contract value exceeds 2,50,000. Okay, but you remember this fact that in case if say a government department, if the contract is between government department and PSUs, so if it is between the various government departments or say between local authority or say PSUs or governmental agencies or PSUs or the persons who have been notified under 51(1)(d), in that particular circumstance, no TDS is required if there is a supply. So supply here, the TDS provisions shall not apply if supply of goods or services or both takes place between one person to another person. Because an exemption has been issued, it has been notified. So you have to write that also. In this particular circumstance, since it is a PSU, it is supplying the goods to Commercial Taxes Department, it is supplying goods to Central Government Department, therefore there will be no TDS. Now would there be any difference if instead of PSU, if this is an entity in a private sector? Well, yes, in that case TDS will be attracted and applicable tax rate for tax deduction will be 1%, 1% and 2%. So here, since the supplier is where? Supplier is in Delhi and place of supply is where the goods are delivered. Goods are delivered in UP. It is an interstate supply. Contract value exceeds it exceeds what? 2,50,000. So tax will be required to be deducted by the government. Government will deduct IGST at rate of 2% of rupees 350. 350 into 2%. This IGST will be levied. Now, in case if the private sector entity undertakes works contract for the above department in services in New Delhi, what would be the position of tax reduction when the contract value is what? 5 lakhs. Now here the works contract service, place of supply is where the services are supplied, where the immovable property is say located. So the place of supply becomes here New Delhi. supplier of service, supplier of service is where? Supplier of service is in Delhi. So he'll be charging, I'm writing here, so supplier of services in Delhi. Place of supply is where? The same is in Delhi. But here, the government department is what? Is registered where? In UP. So in this case, if supplier and place of supply are state, supplier and place of supply are in a state different from the state, where the recipient is located. Then in that case, no TDS provisions can be attracted, because the government will deduct here TDS of supplier of supply and place of supply here, CGST and SGST of Delhi is charged. Delhi is charged in invoice. How they can what? Deduct, that is UP government can deduct that tax. Therefore, it has been, exception has been provided that where the supply is say an intrastate supply and the location of the recipient is say different, in that particular circumstance, tax deduction provisions will not be applicable. So this is one question which we are discussing about TDS. Now they are further saying that the disbursing officer has not paid the tax deducted in the month of February, amounting to 2 lakhs and CGST and 2 lakh SGST to this government. So on the due date, so it is to be deposited up to 10th of March 19. We have whatever amount is deducted, the same is to be deposited up to 10th of the next month, but it has been deposited on which date? 14th May 19. It has been deposited on 14th May 19. So here, he will be liable to pay interest at rate of 18% per annum. For the delay on the TDS amount, interest will be levied at rate of 18% per annum. Okay, so from for the March, how many days are there? 21 days for March. Then April there's 30 days, and for May 14 days. For these days, interest will be levied. You have to calculate the same, and further return for the month is also filed on that date, and certificate is also issued simultaneously. Now in this case, since the certificate, if the certificate is not issued within a period of say 5 days from the crediting the amount to the treasury of the government, then fees is levied at rate of say 100 rupees every day, but subject to maximum rupees 5,000. But the same certificate here has been issued on the same day. Certificate has also been issued simultaneously on the same day. Therefore, in this particular circumstance, this fees of rupees 100 per day, CGST element, 100 per day the SGST element, the same will not be levied in such a circumstance. And say regarding the fees here, the late fees is governed by the provisions of section 47, 100 rupees every day, for which the failure continues subject to maximum of rupees what? 5,000 is the late fees also. So these are the consequences on failures to furnish the return as well as to furnish the certificate, or say depositing the TDS within the time limit. So you have to mention all these and calculate the amount accordingly. So this was about the one question relating question number 4B1 for 4 marks relating to TDS provisions. Now next question is Time Graphics Limited has imported a machine from its holding company in Japan on 12/1. They imported a machine on 12/1/2018 after paying custom duty of rupees 15 lakhs. Okay. Then for use in its factory and is re-exported. It is re-exported on 10/10/2018. It is re-exported. So here basically capital goods have been imported. Machine is what? Capital goods. So these capital goods are capable of being easily identified. Capable of being what? Easily identified to the satisfaction of AC or DC. And they are re-exported after use. So they are asking relating to the duty drawback provisions. So here they are re-exported after use. In this particular circumstance, the provisions of section 74(2) will be applicable, because if the goods which are capable of being easily identified are imported on payment of custom duty and they are re-exported as such, then will be entitled for drawback under section 74(2). What will be the amount of drawback here? At notified rates, duty drawback will be admissible. So you have to write the provisions of section 74 in depth here. At notified rates, duty drawback will be admissible. So we have to see length of the period. What we have to see here is length of the period when the goods have been cleared for home consumption. When goods have been what? Have been cleared for home consumption, and the date when they are placed under customs control for export. When they are placed under customs control for export. Here see, this is relating to duty drawback. They are asking, they have cleared the same on 12th of January 2018 and they have placed the same for on 10th of October 2018. So here the period, that is what, exceeds, say, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September and October. So it's not exceeding, it's exceeds 6 months. But not exceeding 9 months. So on 12th of October, if the goods have been placed under customs control for export, then it would have exceeded 9 months. So it's not exceeding 9 months. So here the amount of drawback admissible will be what? 85% of the amount of custom duty paid. So length of the period, it does not exceed, say, 9 months. Okay. So 85% of the custom duty paid will be, say, 85 units, say 75. It is not more than 3 months. It is how much, say? 95. 6 to 9 months, it is 85%. 3 to 6, sorry. 3 to 6, it is 85%. And 6 to 9, it is what? The 75% will be admissible. It's not 85, it is 75% will be admissible here. So how much amount it is? Amount is 15 lakhs into 75%. The same drawback will be admissible here. It is more than 6 months, but not more than 9 months. 15 lakhs into 75%. 11 lakh 25,000 will be admissible. So the goods must be capable of being easily identified. Since this is a machinery, it must be capable of being easily identified. Same has been taken into use and then subsequently exported. Therefore, provisions of section 74(2) will be applicable. Calculation part, you can go through the same. 74(2) you refer here. So this was one question which we have discussed about section. This duty drawback, which was asked for 5 marks. So you have to write the provisions also, and then you have to calculate the amount of drawback.